Hey guys, welcome or welcome back to Wambere's channel. I would like it if you share, like, subscribe, and comment. I would really love to hear your feedback. As I begin my video, I want to say Happy New Year, Happy 2024. And for me, things have already started changing this year. I'm kind of like relearning myself. You know, I heard someone say women have different stages. When I was a teenager, I was in a certain stage. When I was in my 20s, I was in a certain stage. And now, when I'm in my 30s, not early 30s, not late 30s, somewhere in between, I'm still learning myself. I'm still learning myself. And 2024 has come to show me that Wambere is learning a new Wambere. It's not the same Wambere I was months ago, years ago. Like I put on my Facebook and Instagram, you have to learn about me again. Because I'm also learning about me again. There are so many things for me that have come to light in my life, and I realized, I'm a different person. I'm dealing with situations very differently. I'm thinking very differently, and the bubble I was living in has finally burst, and now I have to accept whatever comes. I just have to agree that we learn ourselves again. So I guess that's why men are always told to love women in all their stages. But as I always say, I will always desire to make it easy for the man I am to be with. I always say I want to be his peace. I want to be his... When he comes home, he's excited to come home because he knows even though he's wrong, he won't have a bickering wife waiting for him, but he'll have a wife ready with open arms and a plate of food. So that's my desire. But that doesn't mean I'm not changing, I'm not evolving. I'm always being a very different person. Because as I said in my previous video, we always grow, we always change, and we always mature. It is always a learning process. One thing I learned from last year is that when someone shows you their true self, as a woman especially, don't think you can change them. Men can only change when they decide they want to change. If he decides he wants to change, that's when he will change. You can't be the change. You know, women, we have such desires to fix things. We have such desires to fix men. We have such desires to make the man different. But the only change that can come is from him deciding, I have an issue and I need to change it. You're not the changing force. And the most painful thing sometimes we have to accept we need to do is let go and walk away. Letting go is the most painful thing a woman can do, because a woman can stay with you through the abuse, be it physical, mental, emotional, whatever. She will stay. And sometimes you can ask yourself, why is she still staying? Because in a woman is that desire to see a better you, or they always see the best in a person. That's the way I can put it. They always look for the best in a person. They say once upon a time this person was really kind, was really patient, was really loving, was gentle, everything, and I believe they can still be that person. So even though there's telltale signs are telling you this person has completely changed, or they're finally showing you their true colors, the woman is still reminiscing on the past. So letting go is hard, because every morning she wakes up, she desires to see that man she fell in love with. She wakes up to see that man who said, you're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. She does not understand who this man is who is saying, you're useless, you're ugly, no one can even look at you, you cannot do better than me. Even though you leave me, there's no one who will ever see value in you. She cannot understand, she cannot fathom who this person is. And so she desires to see that person. So she sticks around believing that tomorrow will be better. And tomorrow gets worse, and the next day gets worse, and she's still sticking around. Women are known for not giving up quickly. We are not known for giving up quickly on relationships. And that's why we stay. So let me tell you, letting go for a woman is hard. And I always talk about genuine, good women who have good intentions, who are with you for the right reasons, who are not using you, but just good women. It's hard for good women to let go. Very hard. So when a woman has finally let go, it's a woman who's grown, and I don't mean in age. She's grown in maturity, mentally and emotionally. She has decided, I will not allow these boundaries to be crossed. And I always say, this woman can be in literal pain letting go, but she will not allow herself to suffer in the long run. In the long run, she knows what it's going to do to her, so she decides to let it go. Letting go for a woman is the most hurtful thing she can wake up and decide to do. Letting go sucks. Letting go is painful. Letting go is hard, especially when you're invested. And you know the weird thing and the most interesting thing is, it goes back to my video on imaginary boyfriends, is when you've been desiring someone and you finally get to meet them, and you finally get to sit down with them, and you finally get to know them and realize they're not who they turned out to be in your head. And this time by turning out to be in your head is not because you had so many expectations, like it was a fairy tale Cinderella story. No, it's because they want to try and cross your boundaries. They're not respecting your boundaries. They're not respecting your beliefs. They're not respecting you as a person. That's now when it's also painful. So it's either you've been invested for months, you've been with this person for years, or you finally get to know your crush and you realize your crush is not who he turned out to be, and you have to let it go, and you've been desiring this person for a very long time. It's really painful. It's really painful. And many times, especially when it comes to the crush situation, I don't even blame the person, because just because you have a crush on someone doesn't mean they're your person. So you can't hate them for being them. Thank God you got to know about them before you are too invested. You know, if that person doesn't meet your expectations, then find the one who does. And as you're finding the one who meets your expectations, one thing I've learned also last year is don't have too many expectations. Go with the flow. If you're not comfortable, if they're disrespecting your boundaries, now that's when you let go. But don't have too high expectations. Lower your standards sometimes I call them realistic expectations. Have realistic expectations. Yeah. Life is not a fairy tale story. I've learned that life is not a fairy tale story. Life is reality. And good men, I always say, have issues. So if you're like X because they did this, X because they did this, small things, stop that. But as I've said, if it's breaking your beliefs, if it's breaking your boundaries, especially not respecting your boundaries, fine. But just have some realistic expectations. Today I'm not going to list down those expectations, because women to women, we are very different. Your boundaries are not my boundaries. My boundaries are not your boundaries. Yeah, your moral standing is not my moral standing. So as you know yourself, you as a woman, you know yourself, and you're like, this and this I don't like when it's crossed. So if you're going to find someone who doesn't respect that, even after you've told them, especially if someone crosses your boundary with conversation or action. Mention to them and say, I do not like when you do this, this, and this. I do not believe in this, this, and this. And they say, okay, or they are shocked, and you explain why. And then they do it again. Now that's messed up. That's a man testing you, and he wants to see if you are serious the first time. And if you mention it again, and it's done again, you need to now think, is it worth it? Because honestly, as a woman, you can only be pushed so many times before either you give in or you lash out. So before you do any of those two, mention what are your boundaries. I'm just going to leave this video at that. I didn't even want to shoot a video today, but I decided, it's been 2 weeks, let me do something. Happy 2024. As I said before, I really hope and pray that 2024 will be the year of your heart's desires. May you receive what you've been praying for, may you receive what you desire, and may this be a year of happiness, joy, love, and most definitely peace of mind and peace of emotions. Until my next video, as I always sign out from day one, peace, guys.